Welcome back. This is our week 3 update. Yeah, we got a basketball hoop for Tia. Look at that. So I want to start this video with a couple of shout outs to my family. One, Tia put this together by herself, including carrying that OSB wood. I think she finally gave up on this last piece, needed help, but and her and I built the hoop together, put it together. You see over there, my super awesome wife putting that shed together. We're going to walk that direction. We've got a few things to show this week, but the shed was being built yesterday and a storm was rolling in. Now the instructions tell you not to screw it down or anchor it until after the roof is up. But we had all the walls up and the storm came rolling up over that hill with probably the strongest winds that we've had in the 3 weeks that we've been here. And I went inside to get something and I look out and I see my wife trying to hold this shed that had blown off of this base and was getting ready to go flipping across the desert. So the only real sustained damage that we ended up with was that corner. All the rest of it I was able to straighten, but it was bent. Had all three of us out here holding on to it, and that was interesting. But so here's a shout out. Her and Tia have built probably 90% of this shed. They've only needed me to help because I'm tall. They needed something to reach, so they've been doing a good job, and that allowed me to get some other things done. So that's lesson 1. If you're going to try to do like a homesteading thing or anything, make sure your family's on board and capable, willing to step up, try new things, learn new things. I mean, she's the one that built that chicken coop too, which is pieced together of other things, and she does a great job with stuff like that. So this yesterday I cleared out sagebrush here and quite a bit over there. What we're going to make here, there's our driveway kind of coming up, but our water barrel for our water supply is there. So we're going to want to be able to pull a truck up through here with the water barrel and pump it to fill that one or the others. We have a total of 3 right now, with the 4th one is supposed to be in on Monday. Today's Saturday, so but that way we can pull around and pull in here and park. We can pull around that way, this way. So we just kind of wanted that. At some point in time we'll have trailers and equipment of some sort, so we want to be able to just pull through. And so I've been tearing up a ton of sage and that's good. That also gives us our defensible space for fire, which is going to be really important. Let's see, looking out that way, I don't know if the camera can catch it, but there's kind of a baldish looking spot out there. It's not going to focus, but anyway, that light green spot, right past that is a fence, and that's all land that the BLM has claimed beyond that. And I finally met one of the neighbors. It's the only visitor we've had. But I asked him about the BLM, and he said, yeah, well, when there's a fire, they don't let the state or county fire crews through, quote unquote, their land, which it's really ours, but okay. So recently, or I guess about 2 years ago, there was a fire that burned quite a bit of desert not too far from here, and that was it. Is the county and the state couldn't get to where they needed to fight the fire, so it just burned. Thanks, BLM. Way to manage the public's land. We got our cow friends coming up much closer. So anyway, here's our excitement. We have a solar system up and running as a 400 watt, so 4 100 watt panels. And for space saving, I've got everything in this thing with some wires, and I've just foamed it up. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start a segment. I think I'm going to call it Digging Deeper episodes, where we'll actually get into some of the challenges, money saving things. I actually learned a lot about solar and some ways to do it a little bit cheaper than what they said. So not that it was real cheap, but found some ways to save money and all that. Water system set up, basically just food grade tubing running into the pump, which I did replace the pump because the old one, I don't even know if it worked or not. It wasn't connected, it wasn't even wired in, and it was probably gross. So I've also pulled off the awning thing. It's laying out there. We're going to stretch that out and use garden staples to put it down a little bit later today. So it'll go between Tia's trailer and ours. I'm just kind of filling this area so keep the mud and stuff off of our boots, at least right there. And then I'm going to put eye bolts in the trailer. And we've got a big long tarp that's like 40 feet by 16. And we're going to put T-posts out here and have that as our covered area. So our outdoor cooking and our canned food storage, some of that stuff stays out of the sun and the rain and everything. And then we'll be pretty good from there. So a lot's happened this week. In fact, it's actually just been the last 2 days. The rain finally let up. Over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, we went to visit the kids in another state and had a great time. Came back with a surprise, and once I find her, I'll show you. And then Monday, so we took Sunday off, and then Monday we went back to Idaho, grabbed a load of some things, and came back. And then Tuesday, well, one of the things I grabbed was a shotgun. And so Tuesday, I took Tia out on our first rabbit hunt together, where I showed where that where the BLM has a fence up. That's we actually walked all the way to that and then up that road. Came back, we basically walked 3 miles. Saw some rabbits, didn't have any good shots. They were pretty fast and whatever. But right here, right over here, 30 to 50 yards from the trailer as we were walking back, had one pop out, and was able to get it. And then my awesome wife skinned it and cut it up, and we had extremely fresh rabbit. We walked, like I said, 30 yards, threw it on the back of the truck, skinned it, cut it, cooked it with some garlic and herbs and all that marinade, and grilled it, and it was phenomenal. It was great. So the land can provide, and the only reason I haven't gone out and got more is because we have meat that's been sitting in a cooler and we need to use that up. But what we now have with solar, we also have a fridge. In fact, while I started this video, Tia was loading up this fridge. We've had it in here for 2 days working, and we're so used to not having it, we kept forgetting to put stuff in it. We have running water, and yet we keep going out to the water jug out here to fill up our water bottles. So it's kind of amazing how you get used to doing things a certain way. You know, some lessons that we've learned, I guess, through the last 3 weeks. We've learned how to live without power, without running water. You know, it's something I always see a lot of people, especially kind of in the prepper community, want to share information. And very rarely do I see someone actually do it. There's Tia playing basketball. Okay. So even if you live in town, cut your power off for a weekend and see what happens. You know, there's a lot to it, and I mean, humans lived without power for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You'll be fine. You don't need it, but you're going to appreciate it when you have it. Our solar system, I think, is more than what we actually need, because the only thing that really actually runs is that fridge. The LED lights a little bit at night, and charging up our phones and stuff. So we've definitely scaled back our usage. I'm going to do one, like I said, I'm going to do one more on the solar system. That'll be our first digging deeper. We had this last week, and I really wanted to share it since it was raining. That is a 1950s model Craftsman lawnmower, and just some really old cool cans. There's an old Bugler tobacco tin and a Schwinn bicycle seat that we found on a property across the road from us and down.
Did you tell them that I got Steph Curry shoes for less than $90?
How much were they?
40? They were supposed to be on there in 30.
So 40, okay. Tia's really excited. She found Steph Curry shoes. Show off your shoes, Tia. If you don't know, she's a huge basketball fan, and she loves the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, and got those for $40. And they're like
It was
$37.99, and they are $120 shoes. So she is super stoked. And we are going to do a finances video soon as well, because, you know, to pack up and move and do something like this, one question I get asked a lot is, how do you afford to do it? And it's really not that hard, but you do have to change a lot about your lifestyle and be willing to sacrifice. So that is the hard part, but we'll have that coming up. So that's our big week. We've got storage shed will be finished here in probably the next hour, and we can move crap out of our trailers and get some space. Clearing out sagebrush for parking area. Got solar, water hooked up, fridge hooked up. We do have 2 LED lights to replace inside, or swap out the old incandescent. They're ones we don't use very often, so they weren't a high priority before, but now we've got them. Tia's basketball hoops she's super excited about. New firearm. We'll do more on that later. It's actually a pretty cool shotgun. An old one that we got from Bobby's uncle. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, roads. So it rained off and on for 2 weeks, actually a little bit more, 2.5 weeks. And then Monday we were gone, and right after we left it started raining, and it rained all day. Like, it literally ended right before we got home. We left at like 6:30 in the morning or something stupid, and we got home at like 7:30 at night. It was freaking ridiculous. One big thing, if you're out on dirt roads, you're out, whatever you're doing, please be mindful of the fact that people live there. And like here, our property tax, we have 3 separate lots. That's over 6 acres. Our whole property tax is $75 a year. That being said, the county does not maintain roads out here. The people living out here maintain what they can and what's important to them. In fact, the one neighbor that I've met didn't even know we were here. He lives up over that hill over there, and he was doing some road work, maintaining. He went up to block off an area that washed out and was washing right down the middle of the road that he lives on. And he's the only one. He's a mile away from the next person as well. So since he was up that hill, he happened to see our setup here, and jumped on his 4-wheeler and came over to say hi and all that. So, you know, be careful. don't make ruts worse. Don't be an asshole on the roads. I mean, that's me. We've always been really cautious of that, at least try to, but this is our only way in and out are these roads, and now they're all rutted and deep because people from the city come out here to screw around or whatever, which is fine, but they leave garbage and trash all over, which sucks. But even worse, they tear up the roads, and people like us have to get out there. We need to get a small tractor or something to make it easier, but here in the next few days I'm going to have to hit this road that's over there and go down there with just shovels and try to fill in the ruts the best I can. So be good, realize that when you're out having fun that you can be impacting someone else's livelihood. So so that's it. But after Monday, it was kind of scattered showers. We had one storm that blew through yesterday and dumped rain for about 10 minutes. The wind lasted about 20, and that's when we were out holding that shed. And day before, we had one little burst shower. We may not even get one today. So it's getting better. It's starting to dry out. It was a muddy, murky mess. But the good thing about the desert is, half a day of sun and it dries out fairly nicely. We're already getting some dried up patches. So, and that storm hit last night, so we're doing pretty good. Anyway, look forward to doing more videos. Some of those digging deeper videos, those are going to be cool. And probably less general updates now that we're just kind of here and we have some other stuff to do. Comment, like, subscribe. Definitely leave comments. Again, if there's anything you've tried or anything you really want to know about, throw them down there. I don't interact with humans very much out here other than the family, so I'll jump on and check those comments and give you any answer you want. Everybody enjoy. Be good to each other.